Compulsion 84 here, discussing how to lock up a pistol while still keeping it easily and readily accessible. As a gun owner, there's a decent chance that you want to be able to use your gun to defend yourself or someone around you, and in order to do that you need to have it loaded or close to loaded, but in order to do it safely you need to have a place to store it. So there's a few options out there. Some of the boxes are strong boxes, I like to call them, run about $50. They're really useless. The one I'm showing here, the Winchester version, is about $90 or $100. It's actually starting to get decent. It's not going to be easily broken into like some of the others. What I'm focusing on in this video is a Lock SAF pistol box that costs about $250 and it's biometric. It's supposed to be really easy to get into, but I found a lot of problems with this, and that's what I kind of want to focus on this video for anybody who's looking at this product. I want to put the word out there and let everyone know that the biometric scanner isn't as reliable as they lead you to believe. So a little background on the safe. It's about 20 pounds, the dimensions are about 14 inches wide, a little over 10 inches deep, and about 4.5 inches high. It does have 4 holes to bolt it to the floor. It's a very sturdy 9-gauge steel. One of the things I really like about it is it's got a 9-volt battery rather than 6 or even 8 AA's. So I really like that. You change it pretty much once a year, because I've got other safes that just burn through batteries even when you're barely using them. There's a little bit of standby usage that'll slowly drain the batteries. The safe does have a backup key, and it can save 10 fingerprints. You can put that on all your own hands or several individuals if you want to. I personally did several versions of the finger I used to scan this since I had some reliability issues with it. So the way this safe works is you hit a button to enable the reader to start scanning for fingerprints. So you tap it, and then you place your finger or your thumb on the scanner module, and it stays on for about 5 or 6 seconds. Usually it's enough to work, but sometimes when it's feeling ornery, it fails and you have to hit it a second time. So my main problem with this thing is when it works well, it's pretty quick. It takes about half a second to hit the button and then get a good scan like shown right here. It opens up, works great. However, more often than not, I have some sort of issues, especially if I'm opening it for the first time in a long time. The thing just doesn't cooperate. It won't scan my finger. I've tried it, dry hands, wet hands, hand lotion, whatever. Showing you here, if you have your hand that's a little bit wet, like if you've been sweating or something like that, the thing it doesn't work very well at all. And sometimes you can eventually get it to work, like right here. But then again, if you try it and you get it a lot wet, the thing just doesn't work at all. So I tried between parts of this to wipe off my finger on my jeans, and again, if it times out, you have to hit the button again, and it's still not working. And the reason this is a problem is if you're trying to keep a loaded gun for home defense or something like that, it's not okay, especially for a $250 unit. Now if you just want to keep your kids out, this is great. It works. It's not going to be an issue. It's a slight hassle if it doesn't open, whatever. You won't have anybody unauthorized breaking into your guns. But if you're trying to get into this, if somebody breaks into your house or something, it just won't work. I plan to replace this with a Fort Knox mechanical safe because they're supposed to be the best around. Unfortunately, those are about $250 as well. I'll throw a link in the video description. And yet another little qualm I have about this is if you stick your finger all the way in here, you're going to hit a hard stop and it won't be able to scan your prints, at least not for me. So if you're not paying attention and pulling your finger back slightly when you scan this to hit the pad of your finger, it's not going to work. And if you're under a high stress situation or something like that, you may be fumbling with this for a while. So here I'll just pull it back and scan it properly and it'll work. But you shouldn't have a learning experience with your safe. It should just work. I don't know why they didn't extend the keypad scanner a little bit further out. So here it's really not scanning the tip of my finger at all. So there's a little bit of a learning experience to this, and I can't recommend it to anyone. So my advice would be to get a mechanical safe. Even one of the cheaper ones that's $100 with the buttons is going to be reliable 100% of the time, versus this safe, which may be an issue if you're trying to get to your gun quickly. So in my opinion, even though this is one of the higher end biometric safes, it's still not perfect, and I would not buy this one again. I know a lot of people on Amazon had very favorable things to say, but I tried scanning my fingerprints at different instances. I scanned them over several weeks, different conditions, lotion, no lotion, whatever. And maybe it's just me, but it just doesn't work real well for me or for my wife. And without something that's pretty much 100% reliable, I would rather take another half second to hit some mechanical switches that are going to work no matter what than mess around with this thing in the event that I do need it. As always, thanks for watching, and please subscribe at the link that shows up above. I really appreciate it.